Hi, Laura. Thank you for joining me today. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So, hi, Paul. So, hi, everyone. I am Laura McLaren. I am the Head of Learning and Development for a charitable organisation called HFT.
So, Laura, you've been working with us now for just over 2.5 years. So what made you choose us as your training partner?
So back early 2023, we were working with another training provider who unfortunately had to exit the market. They exited the market whilst having 180 learners still on programme. So at the time, I was very new to my role. It was a new role within the organisation, and that was the apprenticeship manager. So my role was to almost learn the apprenticeship offer from scratch, and also to start developing relationships with some of our external colleagues that had a lot more experience in this area than what I had. My background was very much sector-specific learning and development training and shop floor delivery. However, coming into the apprenticeship world was a little bit new to me. So what I had to do was identify an organisation that not only was going to support us with 180 learners that were sitting on programme, but also someone that was going to take me along that journey with them to educate me not only on our funding streams, but also the potential of really opening up some fantastic learning events through our apprenticeship offer. So really empowering our support workers through apprenticeships was the goal for me, and I needed to understand how to get to that point. So Impact Futures, after I'd met a number of providers, certainly gave me the confidence to be able to say, yeah, I understand this apprenticeship. You are going along the journey with me. And it felt like a partnership rather than a provider relationship.
Brilliant. And I think we've just seen our 50th achiever with you in the last couple of weeks.
Which is always wonderful to hear, Paul. Always wonderful to hear.
So in terms of the impact it's had on your organisation, have you seen where trained professionals have made a difference within your company?
I certainly have, Paul. I will say there's a couple of areas where I've seen the organisation really grow with regards to the support that we've had from yourselves. So the one area for me is really strengthening the skills, knowledge and behaviours around leadership and management. We have registered services. We are registered via CQC and we work to regulations. And our managers also, it's very important for our managers to be offered and supported to understand what those skills, knowledge and behaviours are at the level of being registered and a legal representative for a service where we're delivering care and support. So it's really strengthened the confidence, and I would suggest certain skill set and knowledge around that leadership and management role really well. And that is something that really benefits us, especially when our leadership team is skilled to the relevant level that they need to be skilled. Their skill set needs to be at, So that's been a real great benefit. The second benefit we've seen is where people have completed the level 2 qualification. So what they would do is go on that pathway. They've gone on their care certificate induction. They've then gone straight onto that adult social care level 2. And it's give them the motivation to just want to continue to learn. So the inspiration off the back of the achievement of that level 2 qualification. And it absolutely is down to some of your wonderful development coaches and how creative they have been within social care, because let's face it, it's not a business that we can just take 6 hours off. We have to be creative around the downtime. We have to be creative about the way that we gather the evidence for our level 2s. But the way that the development coaches have done that have really inspired a number of learners to really want to take on that level 3. Almost to a point where we're kind of turning some people away at this moment in time because we want to make sure that these qualifications are appropriate to people's roles as well as your criteria. So in some cases, we've had to say, I'm sorry, that's not the qualification for you at this stage. So that to me is a massive benefit. Re-educating the organisation, taking control of their own learning. It's really inspiring to see. And that is definitely down to the support that we've had from you guys within Impact Futures.
Brilliant. Thank you, Laura. And then in terms of, you mentioned around CQC requirements. So have you found that the training has helped to meet those requirements?
Yeah, for sure. Because certainly as a social care provider, we do have a number of regulations that we have to meet, as you very well know, that being in the sector yourselves. And CQC do expect a level of skill set, and certainly a registered manager to be working towards that level 5 within that sector specific. So for us, it's level 5 in adult social care. In other organisations, I would imagine that's key towards what they deliver. For children's services, I imagine it would be similar, but certainly for us in adult services, that benchmark for that registered manager, it sits at that level 5 leadership, level 5 leader in adult care, sorry. And I believe what that's done, Paul, if I'm being completely honest with you, I believe the skills are there with managers sometimes. I just don't believe the confidence is there. And I think certainly by having the opportunity to work with your development coaches and with that level 5 knowledge and information, it's enabled the registered managers to have confidence when they're having conversations with a CQC inspector or with their staff teams. They're understanding the importance and the difference between what a manager is and what a leader is. It really does benefit that role massively. And I have seen a difference since we've really become strict with implementing the offers around the level 5 leader in adult care. So yeah, I can absolutely say that does complement our registered managers in their roles.
Brilliant. Thank you, Laura. I mean, in terms of kind of like the long-term benefits, I think within the sector, we all know that there's always challenges around, especially like recruitment. But have you noticed or seen any support around retention with people doing training?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually, Paul, because in social care, and again, I'm sure you guys are very much aware that there is kind of a high level of turnover of staff within the social care setting, and that can be for one reason or another. But certainly, what we do know within social care is wages are not fantastic. Let's be completely honest here. We have a group of superheroes that we call support workers that are not in the band of payment that, is a great wage, and we are working to try and attempt for the government to see that. However, what we have been able to do is say, well, actually, what we can do, we can offer you this qualification through an apprenticeship pathway to enable you to develop those skills for those then to progress through to a role that potentially would meet their financial needs. So it's not really, when I've said this for a long time, I have never come to social care to get rich. There is definitely other reasons why we have the wonderful staff members that we have in social care. But if we can support individual skill set, if we can support with confidence through learning, if we can support ultimately the people we support getting the best out of their staff team, then that's the way we go. And that has been absolutely beneficial to us, 100%. To retain our staff members is something that we are constantly striving to do within social care. And in learning and development, we've been able to support those actions within our own organisation and support the head of recruitment to be able to manage some of that retention action. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
really
brilliant, Laura.
beneficial.
Yeah, especially you talk about the progression as well. That's really good.
For sure. Yeah.
And then in terms of you choosing us as your partner, obviously we're entirely focused on health and social care. What does that mean to you as an organisation?
It means everything. It means absolutely everything, Paul. And the reason why, one of the biggest things for me is about understanding the sector. We understand the pressures in the sector. We understand that staff members are not working with inanimate objects. We're working with human beings. We're working with people. And we want to make sure those people get the best lives possible. We don't have spare time to just walk away from a person to go and do a couple of hours worth of work. But what we can do through the apprenticeship offer and working alongside your development coaches, we can come to a solution that benefits both, not only the education, but also the individuals that are within our services. People within our services absolutely adore that consistent staff team. We don't want to be taking people in and out all the time. Your development coaches, by them understanding that and understanding the need for staff members to be on the shop floor with the people they're supporting, hour by hour, minute by minute, we have been able to creatively observe outcomes, support action, and also as well kind of inspire the learner to do a little bit that's possibly outside of their working role. But here at HFT, all we ever want to do is give people the opportunity to learn and develop. And by working with you guys that know the sector, those conversations are a little bit easier to have when communication falls down. So that to me means everything. You understanding the sector, you understanding the pressures, you understanding the financial pressures that we're currently under, and how you're supporting us to be creative and still offer a learning and development offer ultimately. So yeah.
Great, thank you, Laura. And then finally, as we look to the future, what excites you about continuing our partnership?
I'll tell you what excites me is that you are always coming with the next exciting idea. I am absolutely a magpie. I will be attracted to the shiny pennies. And what I really like is how they can really build passion within an organisation. So when you're ahead of the curve, when you're looking at what the next thing that's coming, and you're not just looking at it from your own business point of view, you are using your relationship managers to educate your employers. You are using all your knowledge of what's coming forward. And there is never anything that's coming within the education sector and social care that you guys haven't brought to me before it hits my inbox. So that excites me. We can't always be one step ahead of the game all the time, but what we can do is work with effect and have effective partnerships to be able to support us with that. So that's what excites me about Impact Futures. And I will be honest, the new rebrand is very exciting to me. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Laura.